a member of our Good Morning Arizona family loses her hearing.
It's difficult as a mother to watch your child struggle.
Medical technology making a miracle happen.
So here's a point where we're ready to turn it on.
Today, we're sharing these touching moments.
And you know, this is something that can be really heartbreaking for parents when their child loses their hearing, but there is a device that changes lives, literally, and it's called the cochlear implants. Gina has her daughter's story for us this morning, and man, our girl has been through so much with
Yes,
this.
she has. And you know what's funny is she's so resilient,
Yeah.
and she's the strong one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where she gets it, not from her mama.
Oh, she does. She does indeed.
Yeah, so my 11-year-old daughter, Kennedy, is deaf. But she was not actually born that way. As a baby, she had a mild hearing loss, and eventually over time, she lost all her hearing. But the miracle of cochlear implants, they are allowing her to hear once again. Kennedy is ferocious at the plate. She's got a pretty good glove as well, but hearing the cheers from the crowd, tougher for Kennedy than any battle on the ball field she might face.
Even at 4 years old, she realizes what a miracle this cochlear implant is going to be.
As featured on the show The Doctors, Kennedy received her first cochlear implant in her right ear when she was just a preschooler. 7 years later, it's happened all over again. In September, it was back to the operating room.
Cochlear implants are for people who no longer benefit from conventional hearing aids. This is the device that we implant underneath the skin. You can see it's quite flat. This is the little electrode that you can see is curled on the tip. That's the portion that goes into the cochlea. That's how small the cochlea is.
After 1 month of healing, it's time to turn on the device.
Well, we are headed down to Phoenix Children's Hospital right now. It is a really exciting time for us. Kennedy, how you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I'm not nervous. It feels really good to get a second cochlear and to be able to hear in my left ear again.
Your hearing dropped out this summer, right?
Yes, it did.
What happened? You just woke up one day?
One day I just woke up and I couldn't hear, like my hearing completely dropped out.
Yeah, so how many months has it been now that you haven't had any hearing in your left ear?
About
a few months, huh?
It's been about a few months.
So now I'm going to do the automatic test where you may hear some sounds in your ear.
Dr. Deborah Flynn has been Kennedy's audiologist since she was a newborn. She has been there for every major hearing milestone in Kennedy's life, including this.
Neural response, like where the neural response occurs.
Okay.
Kennedy walked into PCH deaf in her left ear. Throughout the turn-on process, she went from hearing nothing to hearing sound.
Did you hear something? You think? Maybe?
Okay, when you break your arm and you put it in a cast, you know what happens to your muscle? It shrinks, right? And when you get the cast off, then you have to go to physical therapy and you have to work it out. Well, that's what we need to do to your auditory nerve. We need to work your auditory nerve out.
Kennedy knows she is in for months of auditory verbal therapy, but take a look at how far she's come in just 1 week, from hearing a buzzing sound to actually being able to hear words.
Triangle.
Triangle.
Got it, good. Banana.
Banana.
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Bicycle.
Bicycle.
Dinosaur.
Elephant.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Got it. Okay.
Carla Zimmerman is another professional who's been in Kennedy's life since she was a baby. She says Kennedy is already scoring hearing home runs. As for those cheers, well, in no time, she'll be hearing them loud and clear.
Yeah, way to go, Kennedy! Way to go, Kennedy!
Well, when someone receives a cochlear implant, it normally takes months of therapy to train the brain to listen in a brand new way because it is a mechanical way of listening. So at first what you saw was her reacting to the fact that she was completely deaf and then she went to hearing sound. Within a week, she started to be able to discern different words, as you saw in the therapy video, but it'll probably be at least 2 or 3 months before she is actually able to carry on a full conversation. Exactly. But I will tell you, she does read lips, you know, so she can look at me and we can talk, and I can actually carry on a conversation. I make her take off the right one so that she can work on just listening with the left, and she's able to carry on a conversation. In 2 months from now, by Christmas time, we should have 2 fully functioning ears.
Wow.
Yes.
This technology is amazing.
Yes.
I got to tell you, she's beautiful like her mama,
Aw,
but
she is.
looks just like you. But when you talk about her resiliency, I mean, this is something that you and Jeff did an amazing job in raising her, to not allow her to kind of lean on that as her Achilles heel.
Yeah, and you make a good point. And you know, as tough as it is as her mother to watch your child struggle, we've always told Kennedy, this is not a crutch. This is not something you feel sorry for yourself about. We all have our cross to bear. This is a gift. How will you use it to help others? And so we've always framed it in that mindset for her. And, you know, she's learned from it a lot better than I have.
Well, you did well, by the way, on that go round. I'm just wondering, too, I mean, obviously you guys have taught her that, because when you see her, you would never think any of this has ever gone on with her. So I'm wondering, when her hearing started to fail again, how did she take it? Because she doesn't seem like she was down about it at all. She just knew, it seems like she knew she just had to go through the steps again.
Yes, well, I'll tell you, by the grace of God, you know, she has the right ear. She already had that implanted when she was 4 years old. And so even though the left fell out, she could still hear with the right ear. So I think because she was able to function, that was okay. But when the first time around when it happened and she lost the right ear and she didn't have good use of the left ear, that was really frustrating when she was really, you know, completely in the dark from a sound standpoint. But I think this time around it was a little bit easier, because she had one good ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does she feel about being on TV, this process being kind of shared with everybody in the Valley?
I think that goes back to the resiliency. Again, we have always told her this is a gift, not a crutch. And so this is her opportunity to use what she's been given
to help others.
Yep.
Thank you
Gina.
very much for sharing.
Give her a hug
you
from
know,
us.
absolutely. You know, this it truly is. We are a family. We've been together for 15 plus years, and it's like she's ours.
She's our baby.
Right.
So
She's our
we
baby. You guys
watched
are
her.
hers too.
Yeah. I still have her
her.
little scribbles that she used to make me when she was a little girl on my desk.
Awesome. Yep. These guys are like their aunts and uncles.
Yeah. We'd like to hear the story and like to hear that she's doing well. Gina, thank you for sharing her story and yours.